Good morning, guys. Naisha D. Feliciano here from AttitudeOn10.com. Again, I'm sorry for my disheveled look. I just woke up not too long ago, and I was sitting here. I saw some notifications. I got on my laptop, and I see some comments that I'm getting on my prior video for NYC Housing Connect and the Do This video of how to do it so that you can get called and start getting apartments. This video was inspired by Corey, who had his interview and is now, continuing on with the process. So I wanted to share what the outcome was with the apartments that I did get hit up for. And if you find yourself in a similar situation, you might just want to know how that works, right? So when you get hit up, there are a number of things that may happen, and I think I've went through a few of them, so I'm going to share them with you. Even what just happened at the last interview with Chelsea, so it's kind of an update as well. So let's jump right into it. So first, Summit Ridge, I went to the interview. I was so excited. It was the first one. I said, oh my God, I got hit up so quick. It's a wrap. I'm about to be in my apartment. So I go. I interview, I give all of my paperwork, and everything's all good. Next thing you know, I received an email about a few months later after I was like calling and keeping up with them, like, hey, what's going on? I was such a low log number, I was 611, that I knew it shouldn't have taken that long, right? So I was like, why is it taking so long? It felt to me like maybe they made a mistake and probably put my application to the side by mistake, or they had too much paperwork going on. But when I called, I kind of put myself back on the radar. I feel that it was kind of one of those things where they were like, oh snap, we did interview her. We have to send her like something because they probably rented out or whatever. That's my theory anyways. I don't know if that's true. But shortly after I called and I was like, hey, I haven't heard back from you guys. I'm a relatively low log number. What's going on? And they gave me the, we're still like interviewing applicants, this, that, and the third. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I called again a few weeks later, and the same thing. I said, but I'm a low log number. Can I speak to the supervisor? And then the supervisor was like, oh yeah, we did reach your log number. We're sending out the paperwork or whatever. Okay, so I received an email stating that I didn't meet the income requirements, that I was like at $68,000, which was a lie. And I was like, wait a minute. I don't make that much. Like, how do I not meet the requirements for that project when I don't make what they're saying I make, right? So I sent an email back, and the lady was like, the lady from the project management, she sent me an email stating that actually the time for me to appeal had already passed. And I said, well, how? According to the date on this email, I still have time to appeal. This is just like brand new. And she's like, oh, this was your second notice. I said, prove it. And I say this to say, people, that sometimes you're dealing with people that are not organized, or that, they mess up and then they want to cover their asses, right? So you just stay on top of yours, because it's okay. People make mistakes, right? You would just hope that someone owns up to it, and then, you could just move on. But that didn't happen with this person. I don't even know if it was a lady. I just know that it was through email contact. So I said, well, prove that I didn't answer within the time frame. They couldn't prove that, but they left it completely alone. They didn't even give me another interview date. More than 10 days passed and I was not getting a response. They weren't answering my call. And so what I had to do was, I had to take matters into my own hands. I wrote a letter in 311 making a complaint against Affordable Housing Connect. I received a letter from de Blasio. I lie to you not. I should really I should have uploaded that to show you. But I lie to you not. I received a letter stating that he was going to investigate and look into it. So probably not de Blasio himself, but one of de Blasio's peoples or his workers, right? And I say all this to say, don't be a pushover. You know what I'm saying? If you know you meet the requirements, and the reason why I was so adamant was because, hello, I know my credit is good. I fit the bar. So it was obviously a mistake that they made. Long and behold, it took a long time, but they hit me back up and they were like, okay, we're opening up your stuff back up, coming for an interview. By that time, I was already good. Like, I already got hit up and I got my apartment here. So I didn't care to continue pursuing that, but there are ways that you could do it. Don't be a pushover, and stick it hard to them, because that's not fair to you, right? And you don't really know what's going on in those offices. So that was scenario number 1. You have 10 days to appeal. They give you a chance to write a letter as to why. So I wrote the letter. I don't make $62,000. I never received the first notice that you guys sent saying that now I'm late, because there was no first notice. Let's be honest. They couldn't prove it. And if I'm having email contact, then you should have proof of that. Moving on from Summit Ridge. So that was water under the bridge. Beach Green Dunes. I went in. I knew I was a high log number. I was like 2,000 and something. So I went in. By this time, I was still wet behind the ears. I was still like, I didn't really know what was going on. But what I just experienced with Summit was not ideal. So, okay, you're going to notice a little edit there. I'm still learning how to edit these videos and stuff. I got a call from my daughter's father. He's picking up what I'm cooking for dinner. Anyways, but jumping back into Beach Green Dunes. So I went in for my interview. I knew that I was a high log number. I go in, I give in all the paperwork, whatever else, and then I leave extremely excited. Like I said, I was still a little wet behind the ears. I knew I was in the 2000s, but after what happened with Summit, I was like, maybe that doesn't matter, right? But I went in, I gave in all my paperwork and everything, and then I waited. And again, because of what I had already experienced with Summit, I gave them a call like 2 weeks in. Thirsty much, Nash? Yeah, I was like, no, not happening again, right? So I'm going through what I'm going through with Summit. I'm waiting for emails back. They're investigating, all that good stuff, which I appreciate the city for. Some things are good, we have resources. You just have to reach out and get them. You know what I'm saying? Plus, it sends a message to the universe. Like, I ain't having that shit. Don't hesitate to do what you got to do for you, because nobody else is going to do it for you, okay? So anyway, continuing on. So I go there. I'm all excited. It's like, apartment number 2. I'm on the radar. I'm feeling myself. I go. I give in all the paperwork, everything else. Summit. Why I keep saying Summit? They must have traumatized me. No. Beach Green Dunes, they did hit me up. They hit me up through email. After I called, like 2 weeks later, they were like, I said, well, what's going on? I just went through this with Summit, blah, 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 and I'm kind of waiting for them. But I would really appreciate your property better because you're in Queens. My daughter's in her daycare. I had reasons why I really wanted to stay in Queens. When the lady over the phone says, well, hon, I'm going to be completely honest with you. We are at a pretty low log number right now. This is when it hit me like, bam! Finally, I get it, right? This was like my aha moment. I was like, the log numbers matter. This isn't like a pick 3 lottery. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a number pop-up thing. No, it's going in order. That's when I had my moment where I was like, I get it now, right? So she was like, look, honey, you're at 2,000 and something. We have about a certain amount of units left. So I'm going to be completely honest with you. The chances of us reaching your number, we have some pretty good applicants, are pretty low. But that doesn't mean that you're not on our waiting list. We're going to put you on a wait list because you do qualify. I'm going to tell you the truth. You qualify. Everything checked out. And I noticed that they did not take my money order. Okay? So that was a bit of a... When I left the interview, I was like, why didn't they take my money order? Like, don't they have to check my credit? And they didn't take it. So they knew, but instead of telling me during the interview, like, hey, you're a pretty high log number. We're just interviewing off a GP, like, just to have, options. They basically interview to have option. So they want to know, just in case these thousands of people before me don't qualify, they have us lined up, because they do run through the numbers. Like I said, they run through the numbers for small reasons. Someone lied on the application. Household size doesn't match. There's so many different reasons why. So I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. She was like, well, you will be on the wait list. And then about 2 weeks after she said that is when I received the email. But I already knew, because I was having telephone contact with the office. So they sent me the email stating, hey, the units have been filled. However, your application will remain on file. And if an apartment opens up that meets the income requirements that you offer, you will be called in for an updated interview, which makes sense. They want to make sure I still have the job that I had that made me eligible. They want to make sure that everything's good, and then they will be asking me for my money order or whatever else. Okay, so that was Summit and Beach Green Dunes. So now I have 2 experiences with 2 very different, nonetheless disappointing situations, right? But I kept it moving. I said, I'm getting this now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to the interviews. I'm feeling for it. I got my paperwork lined up because I just went to one, right? So I have my stubs, I have my W-2s, I have my federal and state tax returns ready. I'm like, I'm on a roll here, right? So I'm sending this vibration out, and I'm like, they're gonna keep coming in. Let's go. So I get hit up for Archer Merrick, which is where I am right now. So, and I might add, right, I got hit up for Archer Merrick and Wavecrest. Wavecrest hit me up. But I did not waste my time going. I checked the listing, and I knew that I did not meet the requirements. But I got hit up by Wavecrest because I applied right away, per my tips and tricks on the first video I made. Okay, I'm gonna add the link in case you're just jumping on this video and you haven't seen the first video to begin with. So I got hit up for Wavecrest and Archer, where I'm at right now, right? So I was like, I'm not gonna waste my time and taking days off work to go to Wavecrest. I'm gonna just let that one fall by the wayside, because I knew I didn't meet the requirements. However, I knew I didn't meet the requirements after I applied, because I had applied right away and I had a low list number. So moving on, I then went to Archer Merrick, and I already knew what to ask at the interview. I was like, hey, I see my log number's pretty high. You know what I'm saying? I was in the thousands. I said, let's be honest. Am I gonna be waitlisted? How many apartment or units are available? What number are you up to on the list? I know it's not a real lottery. So by this time, I'm a little expert, and I'm coming in with the business. And, I remember her, Miss McLeod, and she was like, you sound like you've been through this. And I'm like, I have. This is my 3rd merry-go-round. And she's like, wow, a lot of people don't even get called for one. And I'm like, because I got a little system going on, and which is the system that I just shared with you in this video down here. Anyway, so she's like, no, we're actually up around your numbers right now. She kept it 100 with me. She said, we're around your numbers right now. The chances of you getting this like right away are great. We have a lot of people falling on the wayside due to like small discrepancies on their applications. So your chances are really high. And I was like, thank you, Jesus, because I lie to you not. I really, really, really wanted this one. It's 10 minutes away from my baby Miley's daycare. So it was little to no type of like compromise on my current lifestyle, right? Like I was like, this is awesome. And then I set my heart on it, and for some reason I just felt it. Like I knew I was gonna get it for some reason. I said, I know this is the one. Like this is the one. I lit my little candles every night, and I prayed, and I kind of just made sure that my vibration was attracting this apartment, this beautiful apartment that I wanted. It's a 2-bedroom just for me and my little princess. That's right there. And 3 to 4 months later, I did call her in between that time, and I was like, hey, I really have my heart set out for this. I know you told me the log number is really close, but like, please just tell me something. And she's like, we're still reviewing a lot of things. We have to wait for your credit check to come back. We have to do this. We have to do that. And I was like, oh, okay. 2 weeks later, I called again and then again. I was kind of building a relationship with her by this point. So when she called me to come in and she said, we're going to show you the apartment. You qualify. If you like it, it's yours. I was ecstatic at that point, like, yes. And mind you, like I said, all of this happened to me within a year span. So I'm missing work for apartments that had me waitlisted, tried to play me, and everything else. And then I believe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I got hit up for Chelsea, right? So Chelsea, excuse me, I got my black coffee. I like my coffee black, 2 sugars. So yummy. So I got hit up for Chelsea about 3 weeks ago. Even though I love my apartment here, I am about an hour and a half on a good day from work. And I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You know, as New Yorkers, those peak hours. And Chelsea, literally, you know, I work on 30th, and Chelsea, the Hudson 36 is like on 36th Street. So I'm like, OMG, if the Lord don't work. I'm gonna be close to the work. My mom's in Manhattan. Let's go, right? We can only grow from here. So I said, oh, I'm gonna go. I go with everything that I need. I'm thinking I have about 6-7 months left on my current lease. I'm already brainstorming and making plans with my coins on how I would get out of one lease to start another, my security, my deposit, and everything else, because I already know the drill. I said, I have a few months to do this. Let me brace myself and get it together. Long and behold, I get to the interview. She tells me what my income is, how I reach. So they have something that's called an AMI, which is the average monthly income, I believe it stands for. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong. Anyways, it's just the income range for certain apartments. So certain buildings will have one listing, right? Completely. It'll be like from $25,000 to $40,000, and the rent will be such and such, right, in the listing. However, some, like Hudson 36, if you guys want to see what I mean by this example, you could find Hudson 36. The exact address was 515 West 36th Street. You can go and you'll see, excuse me, you can go and you'll see that they have like different income requirements, right? So I my income fell in that middle AMI, right? So they had the first one that the rent was like $464 or whatever. Then they have the second one where your rent's like $900, and then they have the third one where your rent is like over $1,000. So I felt in that middle range, right? So when I went in, I interviewed. She was like, this is perfect. All your paperwork checks out. You've been at your job long enough, everything else. And she was like, look, I'm going to be completely honest with you. And I thank God that I didn't have to ask her. She was like, look, for your income range, you are at 1,000. What's my log number again? I should know these things when I'm like doing these videos. Anyways, I'm in the thousands, right? And she said, I'm not going to lie to you. We're at a relatively low log number right now. And we have to give everyone the chance to interview. I said, are you waitlisting me? She goes, no, you're not waitlisted because we have 5 units still available with that income range. However, you are at a high log number. And I was like, oh, okay. The chances of me getting called back for that apartment are slim to none. But guess what? I like slim because I'm a bit of a beast when it comes to my energy and things that I want. So I'm going to light my little candle. I'm going to say my little prayer, and I'm going to keep my hopes up and my vibrations up about possibly getting this apartment. Because, listen, like I said, they run through thousands of people. It's really just crazy, right? Because a lot of people don't know the tricks that they could try, or a lot of people, like they did with me in the first one with Summit Ridge, a lot of people just let stuff like that go under the bridge, you know? And it's like, okay, you know what? They say, oh, it's not even worth fighting for, or it'll be too much work, or what if I have to go to court to fight them because it's unfair? Okay, baby, hold on. So they'll let it fall under the bridge. Don't let it fall under the bridge. Anyways, so Summit 30, not Summit. Why can't you say it's Summit? Darn it. So Chelsea, that's what happened. So again, waitlisted for an apartment that actually has units available, but it's only 5 units at a relatively low log number, and they have to be fair, give everyone their chance to interview. So of course I asked, I said, well, then why you interviewed me if I'm 1,048? There you go. I'm 1,048. And you're at like a relatively low log number. Who knows how many more people are before me, right? The chances of you filling out 5 apartments with these people in between that number are very high. I mean, I would hope that people got their together and meet the requirements within that 1,000, right? Or that they're watching my videos and they find the trick to the trade on how to like get around this little credit stuff. I think credit is like the biggest one, and I might make a video about that, like how to hack your credit within a year or 2 and get it together by the time you start getting these calls, or just find a way to just get around it during your interview anyways, using like your rent, tenant history and things of that sort. So anyway, she kept it real with me, and I know what to expect, you know. However, like I said, I'm gonna keep my hopes up, and I'm still in my beautiful apartment with my beautiful baby, and I am comfortable, so I'm still thankful and grateful for that. Either way, I wanted to get on and tell you guys, so what she told me was that they will interview high log numbers if they see that you meet the requirements, because they want to have people lined up. It just saves them time. It saves them the hassle of like a last minute replacement in case a apartment does open up. So she did say that. She said if an apartment opened up, right, we go by the logs. If somebody got evicted or anything like that and you met the requirement and you were next up, it could be a year from now, even after your interview, you still have the opportunity to get it. So what I'm going to do, if I don't get a call within the next 3 or 4 months, I'm going to call. And I'm going to say, hey, it was explained to me that there were only 5 units available, but I'm just calling because it doesn't hurt. Is there any unit available? Can you guys please keep me in mind? My name is Naisha D. Feliciano, and I live at such and such, just so that I could, like, I could stay there, like a little twinkle in their eye. Like, hey, she's here. We know that she qualifies. You know, it doesn't hurt to get the information that you need. Don't be a pushover. Stay on top of your stuff and make sure that it is a fair treatment that you're receiving and it isn't a mistake on their part. Also understand that there are different AMIs and also waiting lists, and the fact that there are a lot of stipulations with the requirements when you do go in for your interview. And it could be different for everyone, but these are the experiences that I had. I'm just being honest, putting my business out there because I want to help you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. Subscribe to my videos. I think the next one I'm going to put up is just about like how to hack your credit. I went from like, no lie, like a 500 and below credit to 700 plus in 2.5 years. If you guys are interested in how I did that, let me know. Also, you know, I'm going to start my regular Attitude on 10 videos soon. I keep jumping on here with no makeup, looking crazy in my house. And interruptions, but I swear I'm gonna get it together and I'm coming soon with it. So my daughter's daddy made it with the groceries there in the background. I'm gonna start my early Saturday cooking. Happy holidays, guys. Look at my little tree. Good luck with everything. Don't get discouraged. Keep applying. Go in there like a G. And hit me up. Let me know how it goes, because of course I hope and wish the best for all you guys, and I hope that you land that apartment that you want, because I mean, hello, we're New Yorkers, we deserve it. Let me know if you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe so that you could stay updated with my craziness. I swear I'll try to put something on my face next time. Bye. Have a good day, guys.